Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another episode of the Deloitte Women's Premier League Show. I'm Asha from Footballita and today we are joined by two more guests, Qarissa as well as Erlysha. Thank you so much guys for joining me. They're both from Tiong Bahru and Tanjong Pagar respectively. And guess what? Both of them used to be teammates. Am I right?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk about that in a bit, but just a bit of a reminder that the Deloitte Women's Premier League kicks off in a few days, so do check it out guys. It's going to be another exciting season ahead, and of course you can catch all the highlights on this Facebook page as well as SG Women's Football. Okay, let's start with today's show. As we were talking about, you guys were former teammates, so one of you all left. I believe it was you, right, Erlysha?
Yes.
Okay, so talk me through why you decided to leave to join Tiong Bahru.
When I joined Tanjong Pagar, it was last year, and she just joined this year.
Yeah.
So we actually met, I think, at the start of this year. The reason why I left Tanjong Pagar was because I wanted more match exposure, and I was mostly playing as a substitute last season, so I wanted to be able to play starting. So I thought that if I went to Tiong Bahru, I'd be able to have more match experience.
So more match experience. Can you just tell us also which position you guys play in?
I play as a defender, centre back.
Oh wow! So yeah, you better. Okay, that's why you're so tall. We need tall centre backs. So was that always the position you played in, or because you're still young, I'm sure you can still explore. But
when I started football, I was mostly offensive.
Okay.
But then as I grew older, then I started joining the U16 national team. I was told to play centre back to replace my teammate because she was injured.
Do you enjoy playing centre back?
Yeah, I don't mind playing centre back, but I started as an offensive player.
So are you hoping that they will try you in other positions? Huh?
I don't mind. Actually, any position also I don't mind playing.
Nice one. Okay, what about you? What position do you play in? Erlysha, yeah.
I'm usually playing as a winger, right or left. But when I joined national, I was more of a wing back. And then when I joined Tiong Bahru, I learned a new position, which was centre mid. But I'm usually playing on the sidelines lah.
On the sidelines,
Yeah.
You know what? I really like to hear how you guys got started in football. Maybe you can share with us, Qarissa, how did you? Because today you're wearing a very nice shirt, juga bonito. I think if you all know football, you will know what this phrase means, which is of course the beautiful game. So how did you get started in the beautiful game?
So it's since primary school. Firstly, I started playing football during recess with boys in my school, because no girls wanted to play football.
I like the story. Okay.
So then I started kicking footballs with them during recess. Then my father saw my interest in football. Then he started bringing me to academies.
Which academy was this?
Kids Warriors.
Okay. She's from Queensway Secondary, I believe, and Queensway is also known for its football, its girls' football program. So shout out to Queensway for perhaps bringing in our future national players. We might see you playing for Lionesses one day, since you already play for under 16. Erlysha, for yourself, what's your story? How do you get started in football?
It's actually pretty similar to her story. I started in secondary school as well. Unlike Queensway, we don't really have a girls team for football, so I was also playing with the guys during recess. However, I only started playing competitively last year. I think all the other times I was in secondary school, it was just a hobby, so I just grew my passion from there.
It's just a hobby. I like that it's become from a passion to, I guess, from a hobby and a passion, now potentially a career actually for you guys, because like I said, so you guys still have a long way to go, very young. Okay. Anyway, the Deloitte Women's Premier League kicks off in a few days, but we've had a long break. Okay, so I just want to ask you guys, what do you all do during the break? To keep yourself fit or to prepare for the season? Anything that you guys did, Chris?
During the break, I had the AFC qualifiers. We didn't qualify, but we still won the first match. So
how was the experience at the AFC qualifiers for you?
Especially at the Bangladesh game.
Yes.
The atmosphere was
crazy, wasn't it? I was there too.
It was so loud. All the Bangladesh supporters, they were there. They were supporting the Bangladesh team, and then we also could hear the Singapore fans cheering us. Yeah.
Definitely, I think you guys did okay, especially with the first win. and there's been a lot of support as well, I would say, for the younger side, for the girls. So I think continue to support them. There's a lot of potential, definitely in your age group. For yourself, Erlysha, how did you get busy during this period?
Lately, I've been training on my own outside of club trainings. I have access to gym facilities because I stay at a condo. So, other than that, I would usually go to public fields, which is very hard to find in Singapore, in my opinion.
Yes.
I do know a few though, and I would usually go there during my free time with my dad, who is my #1 supporter, if not with some friends of mine.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that your family is very involved in both of what you guys do. So I just want to talk about the level of support that you guys have received, from your friends or family. How has it been? How supportive is your family towards your pursuit of football?
For me, my parents, especially my dad, he has been with me since the start of my career. He has supported me and brought me to different academies to get my career started. Yeah.
And for yourself?
I would also like to shout out to my dad. He was a player himself. His highest level of football was in the SPL during his time, but he was also a reserve player. But he would always talk me through his times when he was playing football, and I would always be inspired by his stories. So he is a very big inspiration to me.
Which club did your dad used to play for?
He's played in a lot of clubs, but the stories that he would usually share with me is during those times when he was in Tanjong Pagar. So yeah,
Tanjong Pagar, a very iconic club,
yes,
for both the women's and men's. And then I just want to talk a little bit, Qarissa, since we're talking about Tanjong Pagar. Currently, they are top of the WPL table. You guys are leading, So how are you guys hoping to maintain the position this season?
You have to stay focused, stay disciplined. During trainings, you have to be serious. Ensure we maintain the position and get wins for our upcoming matches.
What do you think of the Tanjong Pagar coaching setup? Do you enjoy the coaches that you work with daily?
Yeah, he ensures we do everything properly. Ensure we are serious in training. So we have to be focused. We don't play around in trainings.
Gotta be focused, Erlysha, I see you're smiling. Unfortunately for Tiong Bahru, you guys are not at the bottom, but second at the bottom. So I just want to ask you, what's the game plan this season, for Tiong Bahru?
To be honest, we are actually still getting to know each other. Most of us are actually from unis, and then there are some people from overseas. So I think the main focus is to stick to the game plan and the game style that coach has introduced to us, and to just improve by every game. Because to me, I think there's still a lot of room for improvement.
A lot of room for improvement. Speaking of room for improvement, I just want to talk to you guys briefly about the Singapore Women's National Team and also our Lionesses, in another word. So, recently, of course, they finished the SEA Games campaign and we didn't qualify for the next stage. But what would you think about, where we are in women's football right now? What should the public expect? Especially for yourself, you're playing under 16. I know you're still very young, but I just want to know, what do you think people out there should expect from you guys and the women's national team?
For Singapore, I think our team is growing. It's in the SEA Games, we won one match, which is good. I think we have to be patient because we have to develop, especially the younger people that are starting to play football now. Yeah.
Be patient.
Yes, I agree with Qarissa. Think especially the younger generation, the under 16 team themselves, I know a lot of the players from there. I actually see potential in Singapore women's football in the future, and I believe they can actually achieve a lot of things in years to come.
I do agree actually with you guys about the women's football. A lot of people out there, maybe negative about football in general, but there's always something to expect or something to be excited about for women's football because it's growing a lot more, Okay, guys, we want to talk a little bit about ACL injuries. Have you ever had an injury in your career? Like, hopefully you won't get any, but any injuries that you've ever had before?
So far, no, and I hope it stays that way.
Fingers crossed. You?
So far, no serious injuries, but I have sprained my ankle before.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how was that? What was the recovery time like for that?
I think it was a few weeks, but even after the few weeks, I still needed a lot of time to get back to where I started. So I think it took about a month or so before I could really get back in shape.
You know, recently there's been a lot of ACL injuries. I'm sure you know about the ACL. Nobody ever wants an ACL injury, especially for a footballer. So according to some health specialists out there, right, women are 6 times more likely to get an ACL injury, which is something to do with the science of our bodies or something like that. So why do you think we are more likely to get ACL, and how can we reduce this risk?
I'm not sure why we get it more. I think it's because like our hips, I think it's like different from men's, I guess. Yeah.
I agree. I think it also has something to do with the playing ground. To me, if the pitch is not flat, let's say it's a real grass, yeah, and the ground is very not smooth, I think it's a very big risk factor, and it's very dangerous for players, especially who are playing football. I think it would actually cause a lot of injuries.
So it's dangerous because the boot doesn't necessarily in contact with the actual flat grass, right? Which is what happened with the men's team. I've seen that. I think it really sticks to the boot.
Yes.
Does
correct.
it?
Yeah. I think it would affect their balance, and then from there, I think those are where all the injuries come from.
And that will also affect the women, which is pretty terrible. Hopefully we don't see any more ACL injuries for women. I think it's just a matter of changing the turf, which is again a nationwide thing, which I'm not going to go into this. Okay, guys, I asked you about the positions that you guys played in. Have you been called up for the national team before?
Yes, I'm currently in the under-19 national team.
Okay, so and you're yourself under 16 as well. What do you enjoy, during your time with the national team?
I'm happy to be playing together with like all the girls who play football in Singapore. Like we can train together and hopefully make a team together that strives.
That wins as well.
Yes.
And yourself?
I actually enjoy playing with people who are of my age, and they're all very, very skillful and experienced as well. So it's a whole different experience. Then I think to me, I'm also able to bond with them and click with them more since we are pretty close of age. I think from there, we are able to grow together as a team.
Okay, and then since we're talking about your friends, and this is what we always ask every episode, right? Do you have a player or friend in football that you look up to or who has inspired you?
I don't have a specific player. Just look in the women's national team. I look at all of them who they train hard every day to get better every day. They don't give up and just stop. Yeah.
As for me, I don't think this player knows how much I look up to her, but she's actually the player of the year last season, and that's Manami Fukuzawa from Tanjong Pagar.
Oh.
Yeah. I look up to her a lot because of her playing style and how, even though she's not as young as most of us are, she still has very good technical skills, and I like her simplicity in football. Yeah.
Fantastic. This is what I like, empowering each other in the league. And I hope that one day we can see you guys also player of the year maybe, or in one of the XIs. So yeah, keep working hard, guys. Okay, I just want to ask also about lessons, right? What's the most important lesson you've learned so far in your short career so far in football?
Don't give up. Even if you face losses, don't just discourage yourself because of one loss. You have to continue to work hard to get better the next match.
I think one of the most important lessons I've learned was is that I have to remember that if I think I'm good, there will always be someone better. So it's basically to be able to have this mentality that there is always something that you have to work on every day, and I think that itself would make me a good player.
Keep working hard, guys. You know, that's actually very good motivation for yourself to push yourself. Okay, one last thing, you know, before we go, I just want to say, can you all give a message to people out there who maybe want to follow in your footsteps or watch women's football? Qarissa, for you first.
If you feel that you have a passion for football or you have like slight interest for football, don't be afraid to pursue that passion, because like you never know where you can go.
I think to everyone who wants to play football, especially girls, don't be afraid. There will always be ups and downs, and it's when you feel unmotivated or when you're at your lowest, that is when I think you should push yourself and do your best and never give up.
Wow, very wise words from our guest today. You know, I just want to say thank you very much, Qarissa, as well as Erlysha, for joining me. And I think a lot of young girls who really want to try and break into the game can follow you guys on social media and maybe even DM you or they need some advice, right? Because I think, especially for the young girls, they are looking forward to, I guess, more role models in football. So, you know, just want to say thank you for joining me. And of course, do stay tuned because the Deloitte Women's Premier League resumes very soon, and of course you can catch all the action right here on this Facebook page, you know, with all the photos and the updates, and hopefully more on SG Women's Football. I'm Aisha from Footballita, and I'll see you guys soon.
Bye.